Okay, this is Carlos Camacho, and I have here my friend Kleber. Kleber, how are you?
I'm great. Pleased to meet you. Please have this experience and joining your room, your studio. Thank you.
Oh, great. Today we are talking about custom applications, and this is the part one of this series. Let's see how many episodes we are going to cover here. But the idea is to talk about a little about App Engine and Studio and how we start building a custom application from scratch, right? So, uh, one of the things we need to think about is defining personas. What are personas? Uh, Here we can think about who is going to use your software or what features this person is going to perform, is going to execute within your software. And thinking about the fields that person should be providing or the records that should be updated, we can talk about the database infrastructure. So yeah, in this article series, we will discuss about ServiceNow App Engine module and its features. And why do we need to develop an application? With so many applications out there, it's a fair question. So, for example, if you are talking about human resources processes, we have the ServiceNow module HR to solve that kind of problems. Uh, if you are talking about customer service management, we have the ServiceNow CSM module to help. But what if your process is something so particular that there is no ServiceNow module to solve it? This is when App Engine can help. It allows us to create custom applications. Yeah, Mr. Kleber, what do you think about that? Does it make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. A lot of sense. And this afternoon we had a presentation connected to the BP, like business process consultant, and a person mentioned exactly something connected to it. The need of customizing applications because the standard, like for certain reason, was not enough, you know. And there were so like many particular situations and the need of tools, functionalities, features. So makes sense.
Great, great. And thinking about building this fictional application, I'm thinking about this auto insurance company or car insurance company. Um, this is a fictional company about car insurance where the main process is controlled by the spreadsheet below. So, uh, we were talking about that a couple of days ago, remember, because we have the Excel spreadsheets all over the world, right? We have many companies using spreadsheets. Many times they can't afford, um, let's say, a more robust system like a SAP or ServiceNow or something to control the core process, the company core process. But even in big companies, we see spreadsheets everywhere, right? Do you agree?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. In this scenario, we have this we have this Excel sample here, this spreadsheet, and imagine that each column will be translated to a field within a table, and each row corresponds to a record within the table. So, for example, in this table, we will have some ID, a column to identify each record uniquely. We will have one record called client, uh, a record, no, sorry, a field called client. Another field will be insurance company, Then we have vehicle, car plate, chassis, and one field here, approved, yes or no. We will talk more about that. So talking about the personas, we will have the agent. A car insurance agent is a person who sells, solicits, or negotiates insurance on behalf of a client for compensation. The agent needs to inform specific fields in our spreadsheet: clients, client, insurance company, vehicle, car plate, and chassis. Another persona will be the employee. And think about the employee as a person that work for that insurance company, right? So after the 5 fields are provided by an agent, the car insurance employee is a person who performs the risk analysis and decides to approve or reject the contract. In the current process, the field is a yes/no question called approved. Okay, so column G here will be approved, yes or no, yeah. It would be good to create another field so that the employee can inform the reason behind the decision. Okay. What's the problem regarding using spreadsheets in this scenario? The employee does not know when there is a contract to be analyzed. Since it is a shared document within the company, people can delete information by accident. There is a specific range or car models covered by the company. Since there is no way to prevent the agent to inform a car model, when one model not covered is informed, it is a waste of time because it will be identified later in the process. Okay, so we are talking about this column D here, vehicle. So the company covers a specific range of cars, and since the spreadsheet is open text here, it can cause problems. Yeah, and how the development of an app could improve the process. To bring efficiency to the process, the benefits of developing a custom app will be: only people entitled as agents will be able to create contracts. In a secure way, an agent can edit a contract and will send to the employee only when all required fields are fulfilled. Once the contract is fulfilled by an agent and sent to the employee, it will not be available for agent anymore, and it will be visible to employees. For that, we will create a field called status, and it will start with the value under construction. Then other possible values will be approved and rejected. For compliant reasons, contract with the status approved or rejected will be protected so that nobody can edit them. The employee will be able to consult those records as historical data at any time. Talking about automation and monitoring. Everything good so far?
Yeah. It's okay. On the same page.
Okay. Automation and monitoring. The employee will receive a notification. Oh, it is a cool feature because it is easy to implement in ServiceNow the notifications. So we can send emails to anybody in the process when the record change its status, or when something important happens within the system. We can send these emails, and we have the chance to do some exercises about this here. So the employee will receive a notification when a new contract is available for risk analysis. The employee will have a dashboard to monitor the number of contracts under construction, approved, and rejected. To enforce data integrity, we will implement a persona called administrator. The administrator will maintain auxiliary tables like vehicles. it will prevent an agent to enter information about a vehicle not covered by the insurance company. So yes, is it okay until here, Kleber? Any doubts?
Yeah, it's okay. I like just more in a pragmatic approach later, like for sure have a lot of questions.
Mm-hmm.
But for a
Yeah.
while it's okay.
Mm-hmm. So to start, let's say to start the real thing, to start coding, we need to think about the database infrastructure, and then we have two simple tables here. One table will be this vehicle table. We will have a field called vehicle, which will
Mhm.
be the primary key. Um, yeah, this is a very formal diagram, right? Primary key is a database concept that uh, a record will always be different compared to another records. So we will not have like two primary key, two identical primary keys. So we will see in a bit that when we set a field as a primary key, we can see, for example, that it will be automatically be incremented by one. So when I insert the first record, it will be record number one. The second record will be number two, and so on.
Never the
Okay.
same.
Yeah, never the same. And ServiceNow has a special, let's say, internal primary key that's called sysid. So every record in ServiceNow has its own sysid, which is a large number, like 32 bytes.
32. Yeah.
Yeah, and it is unique, so we can avoid a lot of problems regarding this. It is unique in each instance, right? Of course, we have millions of instances all over the world, so ServiceNow guarantees that the sysid is unique for each record, since these tables are in the same instance, right? For example, you have development, you have test, and you have production. In development, every record that you create there will have this sysid. But in production, for example, every record you create there will have these sysids, and it is difficult, but one record from a different instance can exist in another instance, right? So just as a piece of information. Okay. So yeah, the table vehicle will be just this primary key. The name of the vehicle, this char100, is a string that will have 100 positions or 100 letters at maximum, right? This is the maximum. And when we say not null, it means that every time we insert a record within this table, it has to be a value here. We cannot insert null values. And this active Boolean not null, this field will store like Boolean is like
Zero,
yes
one,
or
yes or
no.
no.
Yeah. So when active is, or we can say true or false, for example. When active is true, we will consider this vehicle to be presented in this table. And when the active is false, it will not be shown here. So we can see that working later. So, and why this is blue? Because we have this persona here called admin. So only the admin will be able or will have access privileges to manipulate these records. So if a person is in this admin group, he or she will be able to insert records here, update records, and delete records. Okay. And the main table is called the proposal. It will have a primary key. It will have the vehicle ID. This field will be a reference to this table. So we will see that every time we select, we will have a combo, right? A select box. And every time we select a name, a vehicle name in this table, physically on the background, it will store the primary key of the vehicles table, but we will see that later. We will have the status here of the proposal. It can be under construction, approved, or rejected. We can have the car photo. It will be an image. Send it to analysis. It will be true or false, a Boolean. Client name. It will be a reference to the sys user, which is the table in ServiceNow that store all the information regarding the users. If you are talking about a corporate instance, the sys user, in the sys user table will be all the employees, right? Insurance company will be a choice, a combo box, car plate, chassis number, and status reason. Okay, status reason will be, for example, when the car insurance employee rejects a proposal, he or she can inform me here the reason. It will be just a text, maximum of 300 bytes. Okay, so sounds good, Kleber. What do you think about the plan?
I was just thinking about front end, back end here, but just like the idea of like change name. I cannot. It's a little blur, but the left side in blue, the last option, for example, name, and then you change here, and it affects like the other part. Is there any connection with front end and back end, or not really?
Yes, exactly. Let me see if you can maximize this a little bit. Yeah. So you are saying that if you change the name in the back end, the administrator, it will be reflected within the front end, right?
Yeah, basically like the user. I thought like the opposite. Like the process. For example, I'm a user. I change not user, but in this case, necessarily being the admin as the situation, the context. But the admin informs something, and then it changes the back. But I got it's a little blur here, like this part, how it works exactly. But I associate it automatically to this concept, in fact, when you mentioned.
Yes. We will have the backend. The backend is when the administrator will maintain this table. So, for example, as you said, if the administrator change a vehicle name here, or for example, if he changes an vehicle record from active true to active false, it will disappear from the front change. Yeah. So we will see that running after we implemented these tables in the backend. This will be the first part. The first part, we are going to create the application name itself, this table here, and then we will create the admin persona. So I guess we can implement this in the next episode, just to keep it short. And
I need some homework too.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yes. So in the next episode, we are going to create our app. We're going to create this table vehicle, and we are going to create a user group for the admin, and then we will put some users inside that group and see these users inserting records within this table. Sounds like a plan?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so thank you very much for today. See you in the next episode.
Thank you very much. Thank you.